consciousness was associated with the body, then in the dream it won't be there. Because anything related to five elements are not in the dream. Consciousness was in space, in dream it won't be there. The consciousness itself is not in space. The consciousness itself is not in time. Consciousness itself is not in the body. If I hit this wall, I won't be hit. I'm not a wall. If I open the gate, I'm not open. I'm not the gate. If I close the gate, I'm not the gate. There is no relation with the body and the consciousness with the death of the body. What the consciousness will happen to what? If you go from one dream to another dream, does the consciousness also travels in another dream? It was same. 20 years back, what dream you were taking, you are seeing in the dream sphere. Today also same dream sphere you are seeing the dream. Right now, 20 years back, what dream you were seeing on the substratum of some dream sphere. Same dream sphere is today also. So why, what is the problem? So if the body passes away, consciousness doesn't pass away. Because consciousnness is unlimited. This is why. And therefore, supposing I keep on passing from one body to another body, years, ages, 100 years, 500 years, 1,000 years, million years, billion years, so you mean to say same consciousness will be there? Of course. Can't be a new one. So I believe they should change, God should change some consciousness, same consciousness, old consciousness. And old is there, where the time is there. Consciousness is ever new because there is no time in the consciousness. Are you getting? Very interesting thing is there. With your little logic, but a little scientific, you will always understand this is the point. Time is something, if time, this can become old because this is in time, it will modify. Something which doesn't modify, how can it become old? There is nothing called old consciousness. It is older than the oldest and newer than the newest. This is the way to express. It is older than the oldest and newer than the newest. Why are you worrying about that? Relax. No.
Hello, and how are you?
Only fine. Okay.
You're not okay?
Yes, everything is fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. So, what's happening?
Yeah. Nothing much.
No, I'm asking how many times you were anxious, reacted, felt upset, sad last week.
No, everything went well so far.
Oh, so very good.
Okay.
Very good. This is what we should be understanding, that it is possible for us to live into that state of calmness and peace.
Yeah.
And it is all about recognizing the delusion and getting rid of it. And that is why we have a Shanti mantra. Many Shanti mantras are there. Shanti means peace. Mantra means simply you can say literal meaning of the mantra that destroys the delusion of the mind, that destroys the mind itself.
Yeah. All right.
And I believe you still remember the liberate model.
Yes. I hope I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
liberate
wrote it
model.
out.
So it is helping me. Take up the Shanti mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let everyone be happy. What is the L here in this mantra? Oh, let everyone be happy. Happiness is our essential nature. It cannot be undone.
Right.
I am sad. It is a delusion. I am into anxiety. It is a delusion. Because it is like a cloud over the sun. So how do you see that the sun is clouded? No, I see through the eyes. Okay, you see through the eyes. But even when you say the sun is clouded, the sunlight is there.
Right.
In the presence of the sunlight, I see I see the clouds, and we forget. Same way, when I'm sad or anxiety, I forget that consciousness, that is my essential nature, who is the knower and the seer, says through the mind that I am sad. Oh, but I'm consciousness. That is what the L means.
Mhm.
So, how it happened, we have investigated. I have to investigate anytime, anytime. Anytime you have anxiety, reaction, duality, and let us investigate when I'm the real self from where you have come. Investigation. So when I investigate, there are many ways to investigate. That is why we are continuing the journey until you reach to a point that now no more anxiety, reaction, and duality. The second word in this acronym is I, investigate. I notice. Was I sad yesterday? No. In the morning? No. Day before yesterday? No. Before that, yes. But I was not sad yesterday, day before yesterday. Now I am sad. So it means there is something that is changing. Sadness is not permanent. And what is not permanent, it has to be a delusion. So even when I think of this, when you simply think of this, so when you think of this, what happens? The very thinking starts your dropping your delusion. That needs to be understood. So that is what the investigation is. Investigate. The word acronym I. So when you are joining the program week after week, your mind settles into the knowledge. And when it settles into the knowledge dispels the ignorance, and ignorance causes the delusion, and that delusion may be anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, long list, long list. So investigate. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. So now from that, I move ahead. When you investigate, now you recognize that the sadness and anxiety comes and goes. Sleep. I sleep. I have been sleeping for the last 60, 70, 80 years. It comes and goes. Waking up comes and goes. Dream comes and goes. Whatever comes and goes creates a delusion. I need not to identify. Can you say that I'm a sleeper? Yes. When I'm sleeping, then I'm a sleeper. Only when you are sleeping. Now you are a waker. You are in a waking state. The waking state does not know the sleeping state, and the sleeping state does not know the waking state. See the contrast. And still, the sleeping dream and the sleeping dream and the waking state are woven together. What is that common factor? That common factor is the consciousness. That consciousness, you can say it is my real self or it is the God. People normally talk to me that I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. First, you should know what is God. Then you can say that I believe and I don't believe. You don't know anything about the God. You say, I don't believe. And then I'm a spiritual person. So neither you are a religious person nor you are a spiritual person. You are simply crazy. You're living in ignorance. First, you know. First, let me know. When you order something on the Amazon, they give you 30 days to practically use it. And then you say that I don't like it or I like it. So what happens when you so in that mantra, may there be happiness for all. So I recognize happiness is the essence. Then I investigate. Through the investigation, I recognize that we identify with the body and the mind and our emotions, our likes and dislikes, and that causes the delusion. So B means that I break the delusion, LIBE. And then what? I eradicate that delusion. Delusion, you are gone. What is that delusion? You are crazy, I'm crazy, you are good. My mind never thinks. It stops thinking of anyone is crazy or reactive. It doesn't mean critical review is important. But otherwise, you don't take it emotionally. You eradicate it delusion. When you eradicate delusion, then what happens? You experience the state of the calmness. Oh, that further proves that happiness is the essence. That I did nothing, I'm not depending on anyone outside, and still I experience the calmness because I have removed the delusion. That is the meaning of may there be happiness for all. So what happens? Now you go and meet your friend. You are aware that it is one consciousness. Your mind does not take you to the shape, name, and the form and the thought process going on in your friend. So, what happens? That happiness is here, that happiness is there. Anxiety, delusion, duality, anger, find out. It has to be related to the world outside. If it is not related, where is anxiety? Where is reaction? No, no. When I'm sitting alone, then I have an anxiety. Come on, sitting alone, you are thinking of the world. You are not sitting alone. It has to be in relationship to some object, some event, some situation outside.
Right.
And that consciousness is independent. That is independent. That is independent. I have an artificial intelligence camera. So you see that my picture is moving. The moment I move somewhere, so it moves with me. So don't worry about it. So relaxation, calmness is there. Liver. Now, when I am constantly contemplating and reflecting during the day, the word A comes. What it means that I'm awakening. Now I'm awakening to the true nature. I had the anxiety. I investigated. I break free the delusion. I eradicated it. And now I feel that I'm relaxed, calm. So the calmness continues. As you said, for last week, there was no issue and no challenges. Wonderful. It means my mind is, intellect is learning and embracing it. So now, now it has started embracing. What it means by embracing? You wake up in the morning and your mind, because of the habit, because of the past impressions we carried forward for many years. You wake up in the morning and the mind says oh, you are upset. It's a bad morning. And you become aware and you transcend that limitation. No, not possible. Mind, don't come back. It is just a matter of awareness. Why it is a matter of awareness? As such, there is no bad morning and there is no good morning. Morning is only morning. Because my mind is reflecting through a delusion, that is why I have a bad morning. She was Russian, and when there is a lot of clouds, the dark clouds, and then she used to get upset. In the presence of the dark clouds, I get into anxiety. And she used to be totally upset. So even during the practice of meditation, she used to say that, let me go back, let me go out and see if the dark clouds are there, then I will fail into meditation. It is in that studio in English Town.
Mm.
So, what it means. I don't want to break the thought process of delusion. So transcend the limitations. Once I recognize those limitations, by regular practice, what will happen? The time will come, your mind instantly had a thought and a feeling, and you transcended it. How? By awareness. No, this is not me. May there be happiness for all. And then you embody that freedom. You embody that freedom, and ultimately we start living into that state of self-awareness. This is the That is why it is very important to the remember the this liberate model easily. Why? Because we will go through the each verse written, passed on to by a great master, almost, almost I would say, 1500 years ago. Can you imagine that he had that clarity at that time? And we are not even clear about the mind. Every year, modern psychology adds 50 to 60 mental and emotional illnesses, but they don't have a permanent treatment. We have more than 3,000 mental and emotional illnesses. But if you say, can I get rid of it completely? They don't give you the answer. That is why they don't say cure. That is why they have started using the word management, stress, management, anxiety, management. So now look at the first verse of this master, and then we will understand how deeply. So, in earlier days, thousands of years back, the same pattern of writing uh, was available. Same pattern of writing. What is the pattern of writing? 5 or 6,000 years ago, there was no printing press. There was uh, no paper at all. So people used to write. In ancient India, people used to write. I will show you. I don't know whether I've shown to you. I brought it from India. So there's a big tree in the Himalayas. You peel it, and when you peel it and you create a layer by layer, and you put it before the sunlight, it dries, and then you start writing on the uh, plant colors.
Yeah. They also use stones and
Yeah.
a hammer.
Yeah,
It's a
stones and
very-
hammer. But how many pages you can write on stones and hammer? So they have created this very small. It is known as the leaves. I forget the name. So there they used to write. We have the manuscripts of thousands of years old, which has been preserved, and with the plant colors they are written. But another part that is also very important to understand, that every master wants to pass on this tradition. They never kept it as a secret, or they never promoted as the best-selling author. They said, no, it has to be passed on to the next generation. So what is the way? So then they said, okay, here are 10 principles. Now I will go into the Himalayas, meditate on these 10 verses. 10 verses, and their explanation goes into the 50 pages. So those 50 pages and 10 principles were compressed like a like a we see zip file. So every verse is a zip file. It contains lot of messages. But why they have done like this? To pass on to the next generation as it is. It takes a lot of time to remember the 50 pages. And it takes hardly a few minutes to remember the two-liner that is known as the verse. So now we will see the literal meaning first, Then we will contemplate and reflect. We will find out, extract the knowledge, and then we will apply that knowledge in our life. So the very first verse is basically, it is like a poetry. It can be sung. So the master in the first verse says, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamati, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamati, Samprapte Sannahite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrunna Karani. So they used to add some metaphor to give you that very essence, so that any master who teaches or any student who learns gets the feel of it. So first let us go to the literal meaning, and then we will go to the knowledge. So what is the meaning of this verse? It says, recognize and realize the real self. So because in the form of a song, so he repeats it, recognize and realize the real self. Then he gives us a shock. Oh, foolish one. He uses the word. I'm not using. He says, oh, foolish. So we will understand why he is addressing non-seekers as a foolish. Why he is addressing those who are suffering from these mental and emotional disorders. He is addressing them as a foolish. So we will understand the actual meaning of the foolish. I literally am translating. The actual word is mudha, mudhamati. And then another line, he says, when the appointed time comes, the rules of the grammar will not save you. Now, it's a metaphor. What he is saying? That when the appointed time of what? Appointed time of the death comes, the rules of the grammar will not save you. Can you get some meaning? I'm into anxiety. I have a lot of reaction. And I'm getting upset. These are the rules of the grammar. I'm constantly repeating. I'm not examining what is happening. So he's using it as a metaphor. We'll go into the detail, but I'm just giving you, these masters were really the craziest people I have found, the way they have written and they have. So the first, what he says, recognize and realize the real self. He repeats it again, recognize and realize the real self. Oh, foolish one, foolish. There is one literal meaning of the foolish. Unexamined life. I don't examine my life and I take action. That is the meaning of foolishness. So in the context of our anxiety, mental and emotional disorders, I take it for granted. I take it my experience for granted. Many people say to me, how do you negate? I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling heaviness. I'm into anxiety. I have a fear. It is my experience. I say to them, when you're driving the car, is it not your experience? The highway is running behind you. The trees are running behind you. What kind of experience it has? Can you tell me? Is it real? No, this is not real, but that is real. No, we have still to examine. Don't take a decision fast. We have still to examine whether experience. So, do you experience anxiety? Yes, I experience it. All experience are in the form of sensation. Sensation coming from the sense organs.
Okay.
You see that sensation I perceive. Whether it is the water in the mirage, where it is not, and what is examination? I approach near the mirage as I approach near the mirage, water is not there. Oh, it's a delusion. Highway is not running behind me. It cannot run. I am driving. So it is also a delusion. So now two very beautiful experiences I have proved a delusion. So I have also to examine my anxiety in the form of a sensation that I perceive, my mind perceives. I have a sensation. So particular sensation, I have given a brand of anxiety. I have given a brand of reaction. I have given a brand of stress. I have given a brand of suffering. The way I gave you two examples. Oh, so it means I have to examine. Yes, you have to examine. Can you tell me the difference between the sensation on the tongue of a particular food with a sensation which you brand it, label it as anxiety? Both are sensation? Are they not? That is why we have sense organs. So the master says, we will go deeper into it. Master says, no, I have to examine it. Foolish never examines. They take it for granted. And we all are fools. We act foolishly many a times. It is our instinctive, it is our impulsive nature. How come? Sometimes it happens that you are driving and I'm a passenger and I say, oh, take a right turn and you take a left turn. So that ignorance, that level of impurity is always present. But if I don't think and contemplate that foolishness of the mind, I cannot grow, I cannot evolve, I cannot be into that state of the calmness and peace. Foolishness. That is one. So we are trying to understand each and every word. So what Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, recognize and
I'm
realize.
sorry, could you, how, I don't understand that word very well. I don't hear it. How do you,
Recognize and realize the real self. Recognize and realize the real self.
okay,
O foolish one.
all right.
So now you look at it, what the master is saying. Imagine you are a sailor navigating the vast, turbulent sea. There is a North Star represents your real self. I'm just giving a metaphor to
Okay,
make you understand.
in nature, yeah.
So you are sailing, you are a sailor navigating vast, turbulent sea. The North Star represents your real self, no matter how rough the water, how dark the night. Focusing on this consistent celestial guide will always lead you safely to your destination.
Hmm.
And that is how I created an acronym, Liberate. L. Live in my true nature. Simply think and remember that my nature is the real self. I'm going to prove it in my life.
Mhm.
So that North Star, even in the times of turbulence, I can reach to my destination no matter how turbulent the water or how dark the night. if you keep your focus on unchanging point is the real self, you will never lose your way. We are just still giving explanation of the first verse. In daily life, this could mean what it means in daily life. This could mean setting aside time each day for self-discovery. Apply the liberate model, be it meditation, be it self-reflection, be it examining your life, listening and learning the principles of Eastern wisdom. That is the internal journey you are undertaking. With clear understanding of the North Star is there. Now you see, my friend, and you just think of another extreme logic. What is the extreme logic I said? Just think for a while that as such, there is no real self. Right? There is no real self. But you are examining, you are dropping your delusion, you're dropping your ignorance, you're dropping the false notion that itself will take you to the peace. That itself will take you to the peace and the joy in your life. Let the science do not agree that there is no real self. Okay, I agree with you. Let us continue the journey, and you will find the peace in yourself. It is so logical. It has to be, but listening and learning is the first step. Contemplation and reflection is the second. Daily practice maybe the meditation, or simply follow the liberate principle in every issue, in every challenge that you have. Whether it's a physical challenge or mental challenge. So when you are following, listening, and learning, you are examining your life through the liberate principle, liberate model, you can get rid of the foolishness that is already in the mind. There are many questions answered. Why I have a foolishness? So do you think that at the time of the birth you were intelligent? I didn't know who are my parents. I'm totally in ignorance. I will take up that issue later. So mudhamate. Now, mudhamate is the foolishness. So just picture your mind as a playful monkey, constantly jumping from branch to branch, distracted by every shiny object or tempting fruit. Monkey mind. This represents our tendency to be pulled in multiple directions by the worldly desires, by the false notions, and the distractions. Did you get it? I'm repeating again. That once you think in this way, I want to say, do you have anxiety? What I'm saying, picture the monkey, mind is like a playful monkey. I'm not saying distressed monkey. Then I will become distressed. So just think, picture, okay, monkey mind means it's a playful monkey, jumping from branch to branch. What it means, jumping from one event of life to the other event, jumping from the sleeping to the waking state, and then creating a false notion it is a bad morning. Okay, but it is a playful monkey. Oh, thank you, mind. You have helped me realize this. But where is the bad? Bad and the morning cannot go together. Playful monkey, not distressed monkey. So if the mind is distressed monkey, then I will go down. That is the principle. That represents a tendency. So the moment the mind enters into a waking state, it takes all the impressions from the past, accumulated impressions, by default, or you can say by chance. So by chance, Monday is a bad morning for you and Tuesday is a good morning. Look at the foolishness of the mind. Mind, you are a playful monkey. So, oh mind. So it is attracted. Why I give this metaphor, that it is attracted in different directions. You know, sometimes what happens, even you wake up in the morning and you say that it's a bad morning, and then the second impression from the past comes, and you rush to the kitchen, prepare a cup of tea, and you start taking a sip, and that idea of bad morning has gone. But we carry forward. Why we carry forward? Because we continue to hold these false notions. We don't recognize this as a delusion. That is why the master is addressing all of us together, that you foolish one. So he is addressing basically the foolish mind. You are sitting for meditation. You have chosen to sit for meditation. Your eyes, you close your eyes, and then your mind says, oh, let me go to the kitchen first. And you woke up, you get up and you go to the kitchen. You miss the chance. Oh, there is nothing in the kitchen, everything is light. Let me continue. Let me practice it, and then I will go. So I have broken that idea of a foolish notion. In the first verse. So how the first verse he has given it, he has just compressed many files. Samprapte sannahite kale. That means when the appointed time comes. So here he is referring, will you continue to live foolishly? Will you continue to blame the word of people, objects, and the things as they are crazy and you are not? Will you continue to blame and complain, the world is causing me the suffering? You don't have a time to contemplate anything? So that is what he means. When the appointed time comes, if you continue to live habitual, impulsive life, is it going to solve the problem? This is what the master says. And when the appointed time of the death comes, there is another meaning. That, oh, so you have chosen to live life of anxiety, delusion, and stress. You don't have a time to examine it. You don't have a time to understand it. Now I have understood through the science. The science will make you more stressed because they don't go inside. These principles will help you to go inside. It is finding the subjective reality. Science is great. It helps you to go into the objective reality. Here are the pills you have to take. Your examination, your level of anxiety or stress, they find out objectively. But they don't transform you. So that is what the master is saying, how long you are going to live like this. Life is like a long semester in a college, and the death is the final examination. Just think that. You don't know exactly when the examination will come. That is another meaning. but you know it is inevitable. See that? So the question is, are you preparing for it daily by listening and learning, understanding the principles, practicing? Oh, last week I had lived my life in calmness and peace. Wonderful. I'm preparing for the final examination. I'm not wonderful. Every day I have a lot of stress. People talk to me every time they talk to me. I have a lot of stress in the job. So leave the job or leave the stress. You have two options. Now you see that appointed time, another explanation comes. It is such a beautiful verse. So I asked them that today when you go to the office, please examine minutely which area of your office contains the stress. And then I will come and I will remove. Did I ask the fair question is fair? Yes. You see, I have a lot of stress at the workplace, but I'm happy in my home. So I have to find out the stress where it is located. It is located in the workspace. So where it is located on your chair or table, on a particular room, where it is located. That girl was in New Jersey, and she told me that my boss makes me crazy. Hold on. Appointed time comes. So every day, when you park your car outside your office, your mind is ready to react to your boss. Is it true or not? Yes. Why it reacts? Because of the past impression you have had with the boss. Am I right or not? So if I remove that impression, which takes over me the moment I step into the workplace, will there be any problem? No. Will you have any problem with your boss? No. So who is responsible? I. Why you are responsible? Foolishness. And then she said, my boss is also a woman. So I said that I want you to craft 5 sentences. So each sentence must be filled with an appreciation, pointing the best qualities of your boss. Impossible. I said, you are still foolish. You have to change this foolishness. What, or give me the 3 benefits of blaming, complaining, reacting mentally, emotionally to your boss. She agreed to it. She crafted 5 sentences. Now I said, I'm your boss. Now say it. So every day you have to use 1 sentence while meeting with your boss, because you meet your boss every day. It's impossible. I said, no, it is possible. Why it is possible? Because it's a playful mind. But what I tried to do it, that I wanted her to get rid of the delusion in the form of negative impressions she had about her boss. And the life became beautiful. After 6 months, she got a promotion from the same boss. That is another meaning. When the appointed nahi nahi rakshati dukrna karne. My friend, what the master is saying, that if you are constantly living the foolish life in a foolish manner, unexamined, you are living your life which is not examined every day, then what is going to happen? Nothing is going to save you from the suffering. So he says it metaphorically. The rules of the grammar will not save you. That means my impulsive, constantly agitated life because of others is not going to bring any peace and happiness. Are you getting it? Imagine you are on a sinking ship. In this moment of crisis, if you had memorized every book, here it means you have memorized that how many people causes the stress and suffering to me. My boss is crazy, my honey is crazy, and etc., etc. And you are keeping in the library of your mind, that knowledge is not going to help you float. You need a life jacket or the ability to swim. And that ability to swim or a life jacket is the liberate model. I have to get rid of this unexamined mind, foolish mind, that causes the delusion and the false motion. It's such a, my master used to talk about it, maybe it used to take 10 hours on the first verse, but I'm just extracting the main point. So what, the moment you follow the liberate model, you are basically building a life raft. And we have a limited time to build a life raft before the ship goes down. Will you spend that time studying the ship's engineering? Blueprints, are going with other passengers about the best evacuation protocols, or building the raft? This verse is saying build the raft. Building the raft is listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, doing the practice and checking. Today I had no moment of anxiety, reaction, and duality. No, it came, but it did not have that impact in my life. I let it go easily. I transcended the limitation. T, from the liberate. I embraced my real self. Are you listening? Are you listening?
Yes, yes.
Ah, you went into contemplation. So just first you have to remember the three words, three sentences that recognize and realize the real self. The first line, oh foolish one. Oh, am I foolish? No, I didn't examine. When my mind playfully said it's a bad morning. Okay, now let me examine. There is nothing bad about the morning. There is nothing bad about this sensation, which my mind is labeling as anxiety or a reaction. Oh, this is a sensation. Let me separate it. And when you do it, the life is going to be beautiful. When 24 by 7. 24 by 7.
Okay.
You see, this is only the first words that we are learning, and as we go, it has covered all the areas of our delusion, all the areas of our foolishness. And even if you listen and learn and contemplate and reflect, you discover that how playful it is and how easy it is to get rid of this delusion and to live a life of peace and happiness in all the conditions. I have a knee pain. Okay, example. Extreme knee pain. What is foolishness? That I have a pain. What is wisdom? That the body has a pain. My intellect is still independent of that knee pain, and let me use my intellect to serve the knee in the best possible. So the moment your mind has separated, that I am separate from the body, the 50% of the pain goes down. And the rest 50% you take care. It is quite interesting. Now you have entered into the higher areas of the Eastern wisdom. What is going to happen ultimately, that while contemplating and reflecting, you will be in the state of meditation. You need not to practice. You will recognize that, oh, this is what the state of meditation. Yes. That is what we are trying to reach there. So how are everyone, Philip and
Yeah, they all seem to be fine. Yeah.
Philip is fine?
Yeah. I mean, he got a new job. Did I tell you?
Great.
Yeah, his school closed all of a sudden. There were problems, a few problems, and anyway, now he had got a job at another school with extremely difficult children who are not
Oh,
well emotionally, but he makes much more money this time. So,
that's really good.
so we'll see. And the children are well, yeah. I have a grandson in Rutgers. He is very sweet. The one who
Yeah.
wants to do technology, yes.
Which
And
subject he has taken?
I'm sorry?
Which subject he has taken? What he is studying?
He will end up in technology.
In technology. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes also psychology and philosophy. That was he was interested in. But I mean, if you get a degree in philosophy, I don't know what you can do. You could try to get a job at a university or college.
Or college, or you can create some program based on that philosophy like me. So
Yeah.
he can start giving the coaching.
Yeah. But he probably will go for internet security. That what was he was interested in. So